Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling a two-part story about the times I've essentially ran from the police one day, not long before I got arrested the last time. It was a pretty scary day for me, which only made me more grateful for the people I had to help me out. Before we get into the story, I will be providing a backstory for this just in case for those who are watching that don't really know my situation like that. But please make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you're new to my content, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. Share this video to anybody that's ever ran from the police, and let's play Running from the Police Twice in One Day. So last year, my parents began to nag me for money quite frequently. They've always nagged me for money for years, but around this time last year, that shit was getting real toxic. I've already been kicked out essentially over money 3 times. I was already depressed too, so I pretty much stopped giving a fuck about the rules in my family within the last few years of living with them. I even started smoking in my room, not blatantly, but I was using small pieces and blowing the smoke into dryer sheets crumbled up in toilet paper cardboard out of the window at first, but one by one, I stopped taking procedures to ensure that I would not get caught. In fact, I'm pretty much going to talk about what happened to me throughout the first day, the third time I got kicked out over money, or should I say the last time I got kicked out by my parents after getting caught smoking in my room again. Once upon a time, I was chilling in my room watching YouTube videos in my room and being depressed at 3 in the morning, early February last year. I decided to smoke in my room again. I used a tool that somewhat makes the smell different. Forgot what it was called, but you stuff dryer sheets in the toilet paper cardboard for you to blow through. But that wasn't efficient enough to stay low-key, as my mom would smell the weed smoke in the house and start yelling as she approaches my room. She immediately told me to get out of the house and threatened to call the cops on me to get me charged again. I then packed up some shit to leave. I didn't even pack up as much stuff as I did when I got the police escort right after I got out of jail. I just had one backpack. I took an outfit or two with me and some more essentials and whatnot, and just like that, I was in the streets. I started walking to the train station to stay warm because it was cold outside and it was snowing. I was also on my phone looking for anybody that would let me come over. It was around 3:30 in the morning when I got kicked out. I was able to find one person. I stopped at the train station in my city around 4:15. I actually ran into another homeless woman in an elevator. Considering it was the only source of heat at the entire train station, it's no surprise this woman had all of her shit sitting around. Of course, we talked. I told her that I had just gotten kicked out at 18 and that I'm walking over to a buddy's place. I even got a cigarette from her after I asked for one. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but this was 11 months ago. I left the train station and said my goodbyes to the homeless woman around 4:30. I didn't get to my buddy's crib until around 5, and there were some exceptions. Dude was tired as fuck from the jump, so I had to wait for him to hear my calls in his sleep. Plus, he had school in the morning. His mom wouldn't let anybody come over that late, especially on a school night, too. But he lived in an apartment. The plan was for him to let me through the locked door so I could sleep in the recreational room. The door to that room had a sign that said it was out of service due to COVID, meaning no one could come in the room, even though the door didn't have a lock. But he did wake back up. He gave me his keys to the main door and some free weed. He then went back to bed. He ended up sleeping past his alarm and missing school. I took a quick piss in the snow in the secluded area, then went inside to an empty recreational room with a couch and some pillows where I would fall asleep for some hours. A few hours passed and I woke up relatively fast to a lady who had already walked in to discover me sleeping on the couch. I could immediately tell that the lady was pissed. She asked me what I was doing there. I told her I was sleeping there because I was homeless. She then asked me if I knew anybody that stayed at that apartment for me to enter in the first place. I was about to say my homie's name, but then I realized I'd get him in trouble, and before I could come up with any valid excuse, she then brought up the fact that she had already called the police and that she was going to expect me to come to her office once I get my stuff that was sitting around together, probably to put me on the ban list of the apartment and get me arrested. Dude, when she went back downstairs to the office after like 3 minutes, I packed everything and ran down the hallway out the exit door so fucking fast. It's funny too because right when I left, I saw a cop from a distance pulling into the front of the apartment. I'm sure he didn't see me, but I kept running away from the area. A few minutes after I ditched the apartment, I ran into a parking ramp to hide. I went back on my phone to find anybody else's crib to hide out for some time because I'm sure that lady fucking gave out a description of me when she saw me sleeping. Luckily, right then and there, I was able to find a spot, and not only that, there was a bus stop just a couple blocks away with a bus route that could take me just a couple blocks away from his place across town. I did that without running into any police, but I had forgotten my stuff at the spot I hid at and had to pay $6 in bus fees to retrieve them back. It was a pain in the ass. Fast forward to later in the evening, or part 2 of this, I was hanging out with the same guy that gave me his key keys to his apartment building, and another guy. We were all smoking inside the stairs of the parking ramp just outside the elevator, talking about the time I had to ditch his apartment because of that lady who found me sleeping. But right when I was about to finish the story, a police car pulled up to the top of the ramps. The top then gets out of the car and starts walking straight towards us with a lit bowl in one of our friend's hands. It was even sketchier for us considering we were trespassing, smoking, dude with the piece had a half-ounce of weed on him, and I had quite literally ran from someone who called the cops and, like I said, probably gave out a description. Immediately, we all start booking our shit down the stairs. The cop must have turned around and went back in his car to follow us, because as soon as we made it to the first floor and out on the street, we could already see the cop darting out of the entrance of the fucking parking ramps. At that point, me and the buddies all ran in different directions. I also didn't have my phone on me at the time because it almost died when I was about to leave another friend's house with the friends I was hanging out with. I eventually crossed the river, which was the opposite direction from the house my phone was at. I was going to say fuck it and hide out again. It was too late in the day to take buses in my town anywhere. They were already out of service by like 5:30 in the evening. I was going to just walk back to my phone by myself, which was going to take an hour, but I ended up running back to them eventually. In conclusion of this story, the friends I hung out with pretty much went home after we met up again. I went back to the house my phone was at and was able to find a place to stay for the next 3 days with the same buddy I had already spent 4 days with. We would smoke a lot throughout this time period altogether until I would flip out on him for accusing him of stealing my dab cart and be convinced by my mom to come back home again. The end. The moral to this story is don't run from the police. In fact, just don't do anything illegal and you won't have to worry about a cop coming after you. Always cooperate when you can, man. Them cops don't fuck around at all. They're armed, for fuck's sake. Don't trespass or smoke inside buildings that aren't allowed. Matter of fact, don't smoke, period. Stay in school, get good grades, and keep watching my YouTube videos. Once again, that should conclude this video. If you like this video, please give this video a like, subscribe if you're new to my content, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. Follow me on all of my social medias, links will be in the description below. Share this video to anybody that's ever ran from the police before, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Sauce.